The servant said to the little girl, "Please don't throw my phone. I'm begging you." But the spoiled girl got angry, threw his phone into the swimming pool and said, "Oh no, it fell." "Sorry." The poor servant took his phone out of the pool and said, "Girl, how rude you are. Why did you do that?" The spoiled girl laughed and said, "Are you crying for that old phone? It's useless." The servant said, "This isn't over yet. I'll tell your mother right now." Just then, the girl's mother came. The servant said, "Good that you came, madam. Your daughter was very rude. She threw my phone into the pool." The lady said carelessly, "So what do you want me to do? I didn't see anything. And if she threw your phone, she did you a favor. You're crying for such a cheap thing?" The servant replied, "You're a weak mother because you clap for your daughter's mistakes, just like now." The spoiled girl grabbed the phone from his hand and threw it again into the water. The servant said, "Madam, you just saw it yourself. She threw it again right in front of you. How can you allow that?" But the cruel woman scolded the servant instead. The servant said, "I'll tell the master everything." The spoiled girl said proudly, "Oh, stop crying. You're just jealous because my dad will buy me a new phone today. Way better than your old one." The lady shouted, "And it's better that my husband never hears about this, or I'll fire you." The poor servant sadly started to leave. At that moment, the husband walked in and said, "What should I not hear about?" The wife quickly lied, "Nothing, dear. I was just talking to the servant. He doesn't want to work." The man said, "Are you sure that's what happened?" The girl jumped in. "Yes, Daddy, Mom is right. And did you bring my new phone?" The father said, "Yes, I brought it for you." Then he looked at the servant and asked, "Why do you look so upset?" The servant tried to avoid the topic, but the master stopped him and said, "Wait, don't worry. I saw everything with my own eyes. You don't need to explain." He added, "I was entering the house and saw it all. I brought this new phone for my daughter, but now I won't give it to her." The wife shouted, "What? What do you mean?" The husband said, "Don't make excuses. You know what I'm talking about. Your daughter threw the servant's phone into the pool." The spoiled girl said quickly, "No, no, Daddy, it was an accident. We were just playing." The father said firmly, "No, that's no excuse. And it's your mother's fault too. She spoiled you." Then he said, "I know what to do with this phone." He gave the new phone to the servant and said, "This phone is yours for now. When you think my daughter has changed her behavior, then give it to her. Until then, keep it." The servant took the phone and left quietly. The husband turned to his wife and said, "You're making a big mistake. You're turning our daughter into a selfish, disrespectful person." The wife shouted, "Are you crazy? You embarrassed me and my daughter in front of everyone." The husband said calmly, "If you can't be part of the solution, at least don't be part of the problem. I'll handle everything myself." The next day, the little girl pushed the servant and shouted, "Because of you, my dad didn't give me the new phone. Get out of my way." She walked away angrily. She thought the servant was the reason for all her problems, but she didn't know that if she wanted her phone back, she needed to change her attitude. Sometime later, the servant kindly asked, "Little one, would you like to play?" The girl smiled and said, "Yes, why not?" He gave her a phone to play games, and she happily played with it. As time passed, sometimes she was kind, sometimes stubborn. Whenever she remembered she didn't get her new phone, she tried to be helpful. One day, while the servant was cleaning the pool, the little girl brought him a cold drink and helped him clean. Now they had become good friends. She had forgotten about the phone and learned kindness and respect for others.